Today on Newsbeat, is a plus or minus grading system having a positive or negative effect on students?
Also, students can now get more study time in Middleton, and pulling all-nighters may actually turn out to be a good thing.
All this and more.
Newsbeat starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Katie Stewart, filling in for Ambria Washington.
And I'm Michael Edmondson. Thanks for joining us.
A state judge announced today that LSU is ordered to pay the Baton Rouge newspaper, The Advocate, in damages and legal fees for their ongoing fight to get information from the school concerning the university's candidates for president and their process for filling the position.
A University of Alabama student's push for integration among campus sororities is a success. Last week, many in the student body rallied to end Greek segregation. Friday, the school's president announced bids were extended to 11 African-American women and 4 were accepted. Melanie Gotts explained why the issue was so important to her.
Heavy on my heart because I'd had my heart broken for girls not being able to come through, through our system. And then whenever this all came up, it was so much bigger than just a girl not coming through. It was a girl not coming through because of her skin color.
Gotts is getting plenty of accolades from former school leaders and the student body. Gotts says because of the national story that focused mainly on Alpha Gam, she's had to mend many relationships with some of her sorority sisters, but she doesn't regret speaking up.
High school athletes enjoy great success in the playing field, but that doesn't always translate to academics. However, 4 Ascension Parish high schools are pulling together to better prepare student athletes for life after high school. Right now, they're using college and career readiness data, such as ACT and GPA scores, to create a plan of attack. The goal is to ultimately improve graduation rates and test scores for current and future student athletes. All students attending LSU after high school graduation are well aware of the traditional grading scale of A, B, C, and D, and the dreaded F. However, as reporter Morgan Beard explains, some university faculty want to change the value of an A.
Last semester in accounting, I only needed a 17 to keep an A.
Whether it's a 90 or a perfect 100, an A is an A, or so they used to say. Potential changes to the grading scale at LSU may soon make students more aware of the number and not just the letter that they receive.
Pluses and minuses are used extensively in grading, but you have B pluses and B minuses and A minuses and so forth. And they're basically what they do is they make it such that we're not confined to just 5 different letter grades that we would give you.
While professors like Chance and 75% of the faculty senate are in favor of the plus-minus grading change, the student government and its former director of academic affairs, Thomas Rogers, have another opinion.
We found there's going to be a surprising shift of B, what would be a B to a B minus, so you drop from that 3.0 to a 2.7. And if you start lowering students' GPAs, I'm confident you're going to see lower retention rates, lower graduation rates, because students are going to, when they needed that 2.0 to stay off academic probation and stay in the university, they got the 1.7.
Now the source of disagreement begins right here with the potential GPA changes, and as you can see under the old scale, what would have been a 4.0 will now translate to a 3.7 and so on. Now both the faculty senate and student government have voiced their concerns regarding the issue, but what about the group that's most affected by the potential changes? The students of LSU.
What do I think about the change in the grading scale? That really depends on what kind of grades I make.
I usually make somewhere around 92, 93s, and I consider that an A, but it'll change my GPA now.
Well, I think it would be better because most people would have better grade options.
I don't know, I might like it. It might be all right.
Rogers says that a decision on LSU's grading system will be announced in the near future. For Tiger TV's Newsbeat, I'm Morgan Beard.
Both the student government and faculty senate have sent in their final proposals to academic affairs for review. A decision should be made before the spring semester.
The library is a common study spot for students and is attempting to be beneficial for those studying late at night. Students often study at Middleton Library because it's quiet and has fewer distractions. This year, the library will be extending their hours. The new hours are until midnight, Sunday through Thursday. The library staff says the time change is to give students more study time during the week. Middleton's full schedule can be found on their website at lib.lsu.edu.
Those late night, if not at all night study sessions are common in college life, and students like senior Brittany Drange say that tired feeling after late night cramming may do more harm than good.
Obviously, losing sleep is not really good for you. in a lot of different ways. It makes you really tired. You might have to miss some of your classes, like morning classes, if you're pulling an all-nighter for like later on in the day if you're really exhausted.
The consequences may be great, but there are benefits to pulling an all-nighter too. A UC Berkeley student shows students pull all-nighters experience a sense of euphoria or natural high the next day. The body releases extra dopamine, which creates a feelings of happiness and pleasure. Although a natural high doesn't sound that bad, an increase in dopamine also reduces the brain's reasoning skills. Students are still encouraged to study and prepare for a big exam well in advance.
So how about those rainstorms coming out of nowhere this week?
It's sure to take us all for a loop. Coming up, weatherman Jake Robles has weekly game day forecast. Stay with us.
Good evening, LSU. I'm Jake Robles, and this is the weather. And sad to say, my final broadcast. All day today has been extra sunny with clear skies. The temperature high just scraped 90 degrees. As for tonight, expect clear skies and temperature lows of 66 degrees. It should feel fantastic. So fantastic that the guys sleeping in the back of a truck bed in Tigerland might actually feel pretty cozy. As for tomorrow, it'll feel a lot like today with a little bit more cloud cover. The temperature high is expected to be 90 degrees again, and the low will be 68. Mr. Sunshine is staying, and make sure you have a great Friday. Now to your 5-day forecast. The temperature highs for the next 5 days will start to drop from 90 degrees today to 84 degrees on Monday. This isn't a very low drop, but anytime the temperature drops to make it feel more like fall is a good week in my book. The weekend should feel very nice as well, with sunny weather every day and clear skies every evening until Sunday. If you plan on staying in Baton Rouge to watch the game this Saturday, it wouldn't be so bad to watch the game outside with a Bulldog barbecue. Now, with that being said, it's time for your favorite weather moment of the week, game day forecast, away edition. This is for all the LSU Tigers that plan to go to Athens this weekend. Expect better weather there than here. The temperature high will be 79 degrees and the low will be 55. Mr. Sunshine will be attending, so expect absolutely no rain and a beautiful day for some good old SEC football. That being said, I'd probably drive back at night to avoid thunderstorms that are expected to come in on Sunday. I also predict, let's say, 80% chance of a 17-point win over the Bulldogs. That's all the time I have for you today. With this being my last show, I'd like to say thank you to all of my viewers, which mostly consists of my mom and her dog, but, I digress. This is my 3rd semester here, and I'll miss all the fun times and amazing people Tiger TV has put my way. I'll end it with a quote that I said every single segment during my very first show, because I think everyone should live by this. I'm Jake Robles saying, if you don't vote, you don't matter. It's been an exciting ride, LSU. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jake, and thanks for everything you've done here. Coming up after the break, we'll hear from Katie Stewart in our weekly organization spotlight.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Newsbeat. I'm Katie Stewart, keeping you organized with all things student organizations. One of the perks of being a student at LSU is having access to the unlimited activities and programs available at the UREC. Adventure Education is one of those programs whose main goal is to provide an outlet for adventurous individuals to stay active and explore new horizons. I spoke with Chris Bullard, Assistant Director of Adventure and Experiential Education, about everything Adventure Education has to offer for students and members of the UREC.
Adventure education is just education that uses adventurous activities as its vehicle. So we're talking backpacking, climbing, canoeing, kayaking, the challenge course, really any activity that can be deemed adventurous, quote unquote, and where we use that activity as the vehicle for learning.
Adventure Education is also proud to offer UREC members the opportunity to explore outdoor activities outside of the UREC with adventure trips. Each trip highlights a different outdoor activity from canoeing to kayaking and hiking. The next trip UREC will be making is to Lake Foss Point State Park, where they will be canoeing the western edge of the Atchafalaya Basin and going on a private swamp tour. Don't miss out on this opportunity to explore the outdoors. For more information about how to sign up for the trip or anything Adventure Education, visit the Adventure Education website or stop by the rec. Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Student Organization Spotlight. I'm Katie Stewart. Keep it organized, LSU. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Katie. That's all the time we have for Newsbeat today. You can catch our full shows online live at tigertv.tv, or you can check up on our YouTube channel and our Twitter for our latest updates. Stay tuned for Sports Showtime coming up at 6 o'clock also. From all of us here at Newsbeat, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you here back on Monday. Have a great evening.